shall win. United, united, united we shall stand. For Ghana we shall fight, for progress we shall strive. United, united, united we shall fight. In victory we shall.
Let's welcome on stage the man that the world wanted him to be our trade boss, the former Minister of Trade and Industry, the special one, the analyst, the cashman to the podium. Thank you.
Oh, please sit, please sit. With the excellent remarks by our interim national chairman and then our interim general secretary, I don't think I really need to feed you again with another speech, else you may run into indigestion. But, this is a formal event. I must at least say something. Otherwise, the report, Ala no kroba, when yasen papa bianca. So, I don't want to get into trouble. I'll just keep to my text for purposes of those who don't have the opportunity to be with us. Interim National Chairman, our Interim General Secretary, the Interim National and Regional Officers, and I'm pleased that many of you have traveled from all the 16 regions to be here with us this morning, this afternoon. Representatives of other political parties and groupings, friends of the media, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. I wish first to express my profound gratitude to all of you, as well as those joining us from around the world, for responding to our invitation to be part of this very important event. Fellow countrymen and women, today we are ushering a new era, a new dawn in Ghanaian politics. A new dawn that will end the divisiveness, acrimony, and rancor in politics in Ghana. A new dawn that will also end the duopoly in Ghanaian politics by offering Ghanaians a credible alternative and eliminate the culture of winner takes all. A new dawn that will bring about economic transformation which will translate into massive job opportunities, usher in a golden age of business, and also create prosperity for our country, Ghana. A new dawn that will mobilize the collective strengths and talents of all Ghanaians for national development, irrespective of age, ethnicity, religion, or political affiliation. A new dawn that will promote accountable and transparent governance and introduce a policy of zero tolerance for corruption. A new dawn that will at least protect the environment and promote sustainable development. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this is what underpins the establishment of the United Party. The UP, as you've been told, is a broad-based, and every word here is pregnant with meaning. The UP is a broad-based, that's number one. It is a center or centrist party, two. And then it seeks to build a united Ghana. And number four, accelerate the economic and social transformation of our country. Number six, by mobilizing the collective strengths and talents of all Ghanaians. if Ghana is to be considered, all of us as an army, then we are marching on half strength. Because some of our best talents have been excluded from governance and from politics because of the nature and character of our politics. And I want to introduce a new culture of politics in Ghana. It is not enough for people to keep on saying that that's how politics is. No, that's not how politics is. We Ghanaians are decent people and want to make sure that we bring decency into our politics. This is what we are looking for as the United Party. But what is our vision? I'm not even sure what our two big parties, what their vision is. I've not quite heard them articulating their vision. You see, what a vision does is to articulate the aspiration. What is the overarching goal that you are looking for? How are people going to measure you? So if you say that my vision is to become the richest man, then that is your aspiration. That is your goal. And so if by the certain date you are not the richest man, it means you have failed. So articulating a vision is very important. And this is a fundamental problem in Ghana. Do you recall any party that has articulated to you a clear, concise vision by which we can measure their performance? We want to change the dynamics. The vision of the United Party is to make Ghana the economic powerhouse of Africa by 2040. By 2040. And that is what we call Vision 2040. And we are branding this as the Paradise Project. So by 2040, if the people of Ghana, by the grace of God, install us in power, then we promise them that by 2040, Ghana will become a paradise. Now, you may articulate your vision, but what is it that you are going to do to realize your vision? That is what your mission is. And our mission as a party is to build a united, peaceful, secure, and prosperous country. Can you become the economic powerhouse of Africa if you are divided? No. Can you become the economic powerhouse of Africa if there's no peace in your country? No. Can you become the powerhouse if you are not secure as a nation? No. And this, together with prosperity, is what would make us the economic powerhouse. And also, our mission is to provide equal opportunity for all Ghanaians, not for some, but for all Ghanaians. What we have been witnessing since independence is that the opportunities are open for only a few people. The United Party is going to change that dynamics in Ghanaian politics. And it is to provide the opportunity for every Ghanaian to realize their full potential. If you want to become a carpenter, we want you to become the best carpenter in Ghana. If you are an electrician, we want you to become the best electrician. If you are a doctor, we want you to excel and become the best doctor in Africa by 2040. And the icing on the cake is that we want particularly the youth and the women and the vulnerable of our society. We want to focus on them. Ladies and gentlemen, the soul and strength of every political organization is anchored on its values. Say, uni esuna uni ebaya. You are nobody. You will become rich, but then if you don't have values, then nobody respects you. And so, your value system as a political organization, for me, is your anchor. And that is why we have defined clearly our value system. I want you to listen to this very carefully. Because we've opened our party, we've opened our doors to every Ghanaian. But if you join this party, you must understand that these are our core values. Number one, we want to promote integrity and ethical leadership at all levels of our national endeavor. It's not just for the president. Ethical leadership and integrity is not just for the president. If you are a constituency chairman, you are a leader. And so you have to exhibit ethical leadership. If you are a police station chairman, are you not the leader of your police station? So we want you to exhibit that kind of leadership. Number two, we want to introduce a culture of discipline in all aspects of national life. We are very indisciplined. If a function is supposed to start at 10, they assume that everybody will be late. So we should come at 11 o'clock. Now, if you go to Germany, right from the time where you go to kindergarten, they let you understand that if school starts at 7 o'clock, by 5 to 7, you are hovering around. 7 o'clock, they drop you off. Not 7:30 or 8 o'clock. We need to introduce discipline. 3, we want to ensure that we enforce laws and order. We don't respect laws and order in our country. And our core value is to enforce the laws and law and order in our country. Number 4, we want to promote meritocracy. Sometimes you wonder, so how did this man get into this position? How? And somehow he has maneuvered to become a big man in society. That is not meritocracy. It is something else. And we want to promote that. And also have a passion for excellence. Even in our homes. If you strive for excellence, yes, is that not our culture here? No, but how can you become the economic powerhouse of Africa if you don't have a passion for excellence? Look at all the great countries of this world. And I don't want to mention names. It is clear that people strive for excellence. In Ghana, is that our culture? And people celebrate it, you know. But the UP is going to introduce a new culture. Now, ensure tolerance for diversity of opinions and introduce decent language in our public discourse. That is one of our core values. Are you happy with the kind of language that we use in our media and on the air? Are you happy with that? Because nobody has shown us and given us direction that it is not right to be insulting people just because you have a different opinion. Number 6, we want to instill patriotism amongst Ghanaians at all times and promote the interests of Ghana and not your individual interests. In Ghana, everybody is protecting their own interests. So how can you develop as a nation? You've forgotten about the interests of Ghana and you are thinking about your own individual interests. Number 7, we want to unleash the entrepreneurial spirit of the Ghanaian. What makes Ghanaians different is because of that spirit. But our politics has dampened that spirit in us. You need a new party that will unleash the entrepreneurial spirit of Ghanaians. Number 8, we want to promote free speech and freedom of association. This is one of the core values of the old UP. That is why we are talking about UP. But it is UP plus. Because we've gone beyond even the values of the old UP. That is why we call ourselves UP plus. We want to fight against dictatorship, oppression, and subversion of human rights. I think it speaks for itself. If your husband is oppressing you in the house, is this something that you should be proud of? Or if your wife is oppressing you, now the men are saying, that's out in the council. So when you go to work and you cannot give off your best, check what is happening at home. Somebody is being oppressed, either the man or the woman. So you cannot give off your best. Fellow countrymen and women, as you've been told by earlier speakers, my colleagues, the formation of the United Party is a transition from the movement for change. Look, just look back. With only 9 months of campaign, you saw what happened in this country with the movement of change. People were fighting to death to get our T-shirts. Is that not something that you should be reflecting on? We didn't have money to pay to anybody. The big parties were there distributing money, and nobody was taking their T-shirts. But people were fighting for the yellow T-shirts. Even as of now, you go around, people are wearing a T-shirt. Not only in Ghana, abroad. So there's something mystical and magical about that. So people will come and ask, so how is it that you got the votes that you got? People ask. We have not talked about it. We will talk about it in good time. Because if you deny 95% of our polling agents around the country, 95% of our polling agents, you refuse access to them to go to the polling station to observe the vote. How many votes do you want to be able to get? After 5 o'clock, we are all sitting, waiting to hear the results. And people calling from all over the country. Hey, Master, major police station. Ya tu aba ye kan wie ye no. Ya si enya 0. Enti de me tu ye na kwan. Where did the votes go to? Movement for change. Those fighting for our T-shirts. When you count them, is that the number that you will get? So we'll not talk about it now. At an appropriate time, we'll let the people know. But this is just to let you appreciate that our predecessor, which is the movement for change, has already opened the path for success for the United Party. And as the interim general secretary said, that is why we have maintained our logo as the monarch butterfly, because it symbolizes transformation, resilience, and endurance. So if somebody was just laughing at the symbol that, as for 3 weeks, they will die. They've forgotten about the transformation, that you'll be transformed from the movement to the United Party. Is that not? Is it not transformation? And it is talking about resilience. What we are doing, is it not showing resilience and endurance? So don't joke with the butterfly. And of course, the colors of the UP are yellow, representing the gold resources of Ghana, not the Galamsey gold. The black is representing the Black Star of Africa. So when we say our vision is to make Ghana the economic powerhouse of Africa, this is what this means, the Black Star of Africa. And the white represents purity. We are promoting ethical leadership. Many of our people don't even need to be in politics, but they want to prove a point. It's only ethical leadership and integrity that can turn our country around. You've also been told that our values are based on the original UP tradition. But we have moved on further to become what we call a centrist party, or in other words, a center party. The NDC is center-left. It's a center-left party. The NPP is center-right, a conservative party. We are a center party in the middle. We bring everybody together. Fellow countrymen and women, the great transformational plan which we developed under the movement for change and which has been widely acknowledged all over the world, if you get the chance to read the GTP, you make sure that the United Party becomes the next government in Ghana. Because we already have a plan. We already have a plan. But because we think about Ghana first, that is why after the elections, in spite of all that happened, which I've explained to you, I've only opened the lid a little bit. In spite of that, because we believe in Ghana first, I went and visited the president and said, here you are. This is the key to the transformation of Ghana. We believe in Ghana first. So make use of it. And it reinforces our belief in Ghana first. Now, if you look at the GTP, I'll just say a few words about that, because I want you as Ghanaians to appreciate but the policy initiatives that we have espoused are relevant today and will be relevant tomorrow. Stabilizing the macroeconomy is very important. And when we talk about stabilizing the macroeconomy, we are also looking at reducing our debt levels. People don't realize that we have not even started paying our debt. 2026 to 2028, that is when the debt burden will start showing. All the loans that we have taken over the years, that is when we'll start amortizing the loan. So you have to start thinking about what is going to happen within the next couple of days. And I could go on and on and on, but I think that we've kept you here for too long. But just also to mention that on industrial development, we will prioritize the development of the 10 strategic anchor industries that we have listed in the GTP. And with the vision that Africa, by 2040, that Ghana will become the new manufacturing hub for Africa. Ghana will become the new. You see, it doesn't happen by chance. We talk about China. Everybody is running to China. But remember, China turned around only in the early 1990s. Early 1990s. That is when China opened up to the world and started real, what I call real manufacturing. 1990, beginning of 1990 to now, they are the second most powerful economy. So there's hope for Ghana. But it is only the United Party that can lead that transformation. On the agricultural front, the UP will aggressively promote the development of cash crops. You see, you can't have agriculture that is only based on food security. Food, just eating and becoming satisfied. That is important, but that's only the first step. You have to promote cash crops, which is what is going to bring value to farmers. And once you bring value to farmers, they will increase their production and productivity. And also, you reduce imports and be able to accelerate exports. So, it's very important. And one major initiative that we will introduce when we come into power is to prioritize the establishment of what we call licensed private food marketing and distribution companies. The reason why food prices are high is because there is no sanity in the space of food marketing and distribution. It is a loose arrangement. But in the UP government, every district will have a licensed private food and marketing distribution company. You all remember the old days of food distribution company. But that's not government's responsibility. If you license the private sector, you give them the support, give them the trucks. Every district, they will bring all the foodstuffs from the farms to the market centers. So this is going to be a major part of what we do. Even if they steal it, because we promote Ghana first, it's good for Ghana. But this is the key. Because if we introduce this, it will facilitate the supply of food, it will reduce the cost of food, and then we'll be able to even have more to export. On the education front, the UP will focus on building the skills for the future and directly align our educational curriculum with our national development needs. The people we are training now do not have jobs because the skills they are acquiring are not what our industries require. True or false? Yes. So now we have to do that alignment. And the focus in education will now shift from theoretical book knowledge to practical knowledge based on competencies and skills. We are going to have a situation after 2028, in 2029, where young people, your children, after SHS, will prefer to go to a trade school than to go and do a degree in a university. Because that is where the employment is going to come from. In the health sector, the primary objective will be for us to introduce what we call universal health care. Universal health coverage that will guarantee health coverage for all citizens. And we'll focus on preventive health, primary health care, what we call the GP system. In advanced countries, every neighborhood, there's a doctor who is assigned. So you don't move from your neighborhood, say you want to go to Kolebu. Your neighborhood is assigned a private medical practitioner that goes to your house. I'm sure some of you know about this system. So that's what we are. And then also focus on traditional and herbal medicine, whether we like it or not. Currently, 60 to 70% of our Ghanaian population, they only use herbal and traditional. Are you aware of that? Yes. So we must make sure that we reinforce that as part of our health system. Public housing, it's also very important, and I think that it's a priority that way. Now, the United Party, I want you to listen to this very carefully. The United Party will also aggressively promote a Pan-Africanist agenda. Because like Nkrumah said, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked with the total liberation of the continent. At that time, he was talking about the decolonization effort. Now, we've gone past decolonization. But for us to become a prosperous continent, Ghana alone cannot be prosperous amidst poverty in the continent. So we have to tie our aprons together. And that's what Pan-Africanism is about. And a UP government will make sure that we lead that effort in Africa. Now, details on how we implement all the things that I've said are all outlined comprehensively in the GTP. And I didn't want to go into details. But everything that I've said here, the details are in the GTP. And anything you have not heard from me today in terms of policy, such as on energy, infrastructure, digitalization, tourism, the environment, the creative industry, local government and decentralization, governance, peace and security, you will find all that in the GTP. So here we are. Fellow countrymen and women, the United Party is the future of our country. And it is our fervent hope that the UP will bring renewed hope for a united, peaceful, secure, and prosperous Ghana. United, we stand. Divided, we fall. God bless our homeland Ghana and make our nation great and strong. I thank you.
You can do it better. You can do it better. Give it up. Give it up.
United we shall win. United, united, united we shall stand. For Ghana we shall fight. For progress we shall strive. United, united, united we shall fight. In victory.
Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe,
and click on the bell for more updates.